talk to us a little bit about what you like here on Dalton Kincaid and his longest reception, which is sitting at 17 and a half at multiple books, minus 125. So Kincaid longest over 17 and a half. What pops this on the list for you?
What pops it initially is if anyone has been here the entire season, this is one we've actually done before.
Yep.
And we've done it at a higher number than this. So when I initially saw this number, I was kind of like taken back. I was like, "Is this what we're opening as?" You know, it says local man now. I'm not going to hit this, but he has at least an 18-yard catch in every game but one this season. No tight end averages more yards per catch with as many receptions as Dalton Kincaid this year. He's at 14. He has a 20-yard reception in 10 of 12 games this year. I believe when we took it earlier in the season, we took it at 19 and a half. I think it was against the Miami Dolphins, and then he actually had it and left the game. But this line is just way under what he's been regularly hitting. And then when you look at the way this game, how we believe it's going to play out is that the Buffalo Bills are going to be pushed into throwing the football more than usual. Whether that be through game state or just a defensive matchup. Opponents against the Jaguars have thrown the ball 4.4% over expectations. That's the second highest rate in the league. They haven't allowed any running back to rush more than 75 yards in a game against them. We believe that the Bills are going to be pushed through either trying to keep pace with the Jaguars or just through naturally, inherently where the Jaguars are vulnerable on defense, that the Bills are going to have to throw. And if they do have to throw, not only does that open up more opportunities to Kincaid, Jacksonville is 29th and receptions allowed to tight ends as well. So we're just getting a lot more bites at the apple than we would in a typical spot for a guy that's been hitting this number regularly on one of the lowest passing volume games in the NFL.
Yeah, exactly. And not only are we going to need the volume in terms of Josh Allen to be throwing it enough to get enough attempts to Kincaid, but like you said, he has been able to hit this previously. But you need those attempts to be efficient enough. And if you look at this Jaguars pass defense, like who they've gone up against from a quarterback perspective, it is not going to scare you whatsoever. I've got some of the guys like Cam Ward and Brandon Allen. It was mostly Brandon Allen last game out. Phillip Rivers before that. Bo Nix before that. Brady Cook before that. Riley Leonard before that. Cam Ward again before that. Jacoby Brissett before that. Like, I mean, where are the good quarterbacks? Nobody stands out like Josh Allen does. So you would expect Josh Allen would be the best quarterback that they would have faced. Some efficiency there. Longest over for Kincaid. I absolutely love it. Full agreement there with you, Rich. Prop number 2 you're looking at is the Monday night game where the Houston Texans are traveling outdoors on the road to take on the Pittsburgh Steelers in the cold weather. You're looking at Kenneth Gainwell from a rushing perspective, and you sent in 30 and a half, which is what the number was before the show started. There has been some agreement with you, so in a way that's positive. Somebody else likes this as well. You like Kenneth Gainwell to go under his rushing yards. The best number that we're seeing right now is 29 and a half at multiple spots here. What do you like about, or what do you dislike about the situation that Gainwell is going to find himself in here on Monday night?
So he's been below 31 rushing yards in 11 of 16 games this year. He's single-digit rushing attempts in every game but 3. And when you combine that with just where the matchup of this game lies, I believe that this, unless he really breaks a long one, which honestly we're going to get to some metrics here, so it suggests he is running against the low probability of doing so, that we're going to be under here. And if this was receptions, we'd be in a different bag here. But Houston is excellent against the run in the regular season. They've allowed 3.7 yards per carry to running backs. That's second in the NFL. They have a 67% success rate against running back runs. It's also second in the NFL. 0.95 yards before contact on those runs. They've only allowed a run of 10 or more yards on 6% of running back runs, which is second. So when you combine his role in the matchup, he's going to really have to hit a long run, which again, the matchup suggests that he's running against low probability of doing so.
All right, now we've got another running back, different game. Kyren Williams of the Los Angeles Rams, the first game of the wild card weekend, travels to Carolina, Charlotte, to take on the Carolina Panthers. And in this one, we're looking at his rushing yardage over, which the market is actually, we got another yard of value here at a couple of the books. It's down to 64 and a half at some spots. Others have 65 and a half. So once again, the value of having an odds jam screen, which you can get a free trial if you click the link below for 2 weeks. So basically for the next couple rounds of the postseason, if you want free trial over at odds jam, use the link below. 64 and a half rushing yards. Rich, you think that Kyren Williams will exceed this in the opening game to start wild card weekend? What do you like about Kyren here?
Yeah, he's been below 65 rushing yards in just 4 games all season. And then we got some matchup stuff. Particularly, I just want to go back to the first matchup where Carolina had the ball for 35 minutes of clock. They had their most significant time of possession margin in any game this season. Just the amount of things that went right for them in that game being really tough to replicate themselves in this matchup. I mean, obviously they had 3 takeaways. They had their second most third down conversions in a game this season. They had 3 fourth down conversions. They were able to sustain drives, hit big plays, pull off this upset. I believe that this game is going to play out more. Even if the Rams don't cover, more towards the implied line in this game where they're 10-point favorites. And in that first game, Kyren Williams had an injured ankle, left the game in the first half. He only ran the ball 13 times, still had 72 rushing yards. What we like about him in this matchup is Kyren Williams is number 1 in the NFL in rate of man gap runs at 48% of his rushing attempts. Against man gap runs, Carolina is allowing 5.8 yards per carry, which is 30th in the NFL. They are allowing a first down or touchdown 35% of those carries, 2.9 yards before contact on those runs. That's 31st in the NFL. Also, if you like a lower number, which I know you do, Blake Corum ranks 3rd in those runs as well too. I think this is going to be a big game when you combine the matchup and this game playing out more in line with the implied game environment that's laid out on paper than the first matchup, that we're going to see the Rams backfield be hyperactive in this game.
Yeah, and even if by some chance the Carolina Panthers are able to keep this game close, which is a possibility, I still think that that's the best edge that the Rams have here is on the ground, running it consistently. As much as we think that Matt Stafford might be the MVP this season or Puka Nacua is elite, you involve everybody, but you don't go away from the run. At no point, I think, do you need to go away from the run in this matchup